methylisothiazolinone.
Christ. Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Business Blaze. In this one, scammy products. I think we got 3. Thank you, Danny, for putting this script together. We're gonna go through it, we're gonna have a look. We're probably gonna have a laugh because some of these I know are pretty bad. Let's crack on. It's a curious thing to ponder what exactly goes through the average consumer's mind when they're buying something as simple as, say, salt. For example, if you're anything like me, you probably just go for the reasonably priced bog standard white stuff. With salt, I feel like this doesn't really matter at all. I mean, like for cooking salt, I'll just buy the absolute cheapest. And you can buy it for like a few p for like a giant thing. For like nice salt, like the rock salt, like the one you'd grind onto a steak or whatever, I get the like thicker stuff that you can put in a grinder. But still, I just always go for the cheapest one. It's like sodium chloride. It is like basic stuff. You see, I don't really expect too much from salt. Me neither, Danny. I expect a lot from it because it makes stuff taste awesome and it's good for you, right? When I'm walking down the supermarket aisle, I'm not really anticipating new life-changing revelations from the ever-thrilling world of salt. I just want some cheap table salt that I can sprinkle on my fish and chips. Oh, so this part I have to point out, Danny is also British. So we got Team UK over here. We love our fish and chips. Fish and chips is alright. I love the chips. Whenever I went to the fish and chip shop, you could also get like Southern fried chicken or like, fake KFC from the fish and chip shop, which I would always get. If you are a hipster millennial, and I can check my analytics, and I know you are, with your finger on the shaker and your nose in the premium mustard. Alright, Danny, I like my premium mustard though. Am I a hipster? The premium mustard's nice. Like the grainy one with all the big mustard grains. It's delicious. But if you are one of these hipsters, you might well be intrigued by pink Himalayan salt. It's not like boring ordinary salt. It's between 5 to 10 times more expensive for starters. I love it when they're like, the differentiating factor of the product is it's just a lot more expensive. It's essentially the same thing. It just costs more. Another thing is it's a lovely shade of pink. I've seen this stuff in the supermarket. In fact, I'm slightly ashamed to admit it, but I do have a rather large box of this in the cupboard. I didn't buy it, my mother-in-law gave it to me. I think I've used it when I ran out of regular salt. So where to begin? Well, the pink stuff is hand extracted from the Kira, maybe, salt mine located near the Himalayas in Pakistan. Hand extracted. How do you hand extract salt? The natural harvesting process allows for pink Himalayan salt to possess no less than 84 different minerals and trace elements that are not found in the usual white stuff. Is this a scam, Danny, or is this going to be amazing? The marketing claim is that these minerals promote health and well-being, and the general hook for the hipsters is that pink Himalayan salt is a more natural, more refined, healthier, and tastier alternative to table salt, as reflected in its reassuringly expensive price tag. Was it Stella Artois that had the reassuringly expensive tagline? In the UK, we call it wife beater, because it makes people angry when they beat their wives. So let's unpack that for a second. Pure salt, mostly composed of sodium chloride, is white. If it's pure salt, isn't it just composed of sodium chloride? And here's the most basic Google search I've ever done. What is in salt? There are other compounds. Apparently it's 97 to 99% salt, that regular salt stuff. There's some other minerals and stuff. I'm proven wrong. The reason that Himalayan salt is pink is because of all those additional unrefined minerals and impurities. When you say it that way, it just makes it sound like, it's worse. Although some brands market Himalayan salt as the purest salt available today, the very color of the salt tells you that it's actually the most impure salt you could possibly buy. Well, 2 things there. It's like they're saying it contains all this extra stuff, and then they're saying it's purer than regular salt. That makes absolutely no sense. Also, it's actually the most impure salt you could possibly buy. I could come onto the market with Simon's impure salt. What I do is I get regular salt, I shit in it, I mix it all up, and I sell it. Hipsters will love it. So what about those 84 minerals? Only about a quarter of them are scientifically proven to have any health benefits, but the amount you'll find in Himalayan salt is so minuscule it has zero effect on your body anyway. It gets worse though. A few of those allegedly healthy materials are actually toxic and radioactive. What a surprise, you dig something out of the ground, you don't refine it or purify it in any way, and you feed it to people, and it turns out that it might not be good for you. There's no need to panic if you've been a regular consumer of this infected pink salt, because again, the amounts are so small that they'll have no harmful effect whatsoever. Right, put that on the marketing. It contains that's really, really bad for you, But don't worry, there's so little in here it won't do anything. In short, the minerals are utterly useless. They don't provide any health benefits, and they don't make any difference in flavor. All they do is turn the salt pink. So if you're happy paying up to 10 times the amount for normal salt just because it's pink, then go ahead. But it's not going to make the slightest bit of difference to your body or to the flavor of your chips. When I see products like this, and I see that they're 10 times more expensive and it's just salt that is essentially pink, what am I doing running a YouTube channel? I'm in the wrong business. Although I feel good about running this channel, rather than if I was the Himalayan salt guys, I'd feel like I'm just scamming hipsters. But maybe hipsters are there to be scammed. Of course, there are many other scammy products out there which are famous for doing nothing remotely close to what they say on the tin. Cellulite creams are another product which tend to be marketed to people talking largely out of their backside. If you're a woman over 30, there's a 90% chance that you've already been afflicted by cellulite at some point. Wow, that's a big statistic. For any men who might need explaining, have to say I do need a little bit of explanation. Like, I know what cellulite looks like, but I don't really know what it is. It's a cosmetic skin condition, I did know that, caused by expanding fat cells which bunch up underneath the skin of the thighs or buttocks to create a rippled cottage cheese effect. Gonna make cottage cheese a bit weird for me, Danny. It sounds like a sexist condition. Come on, biology! It's 2019! It's just because the genetic bands connecting skin and muscle are very different in men and women. Come on, men and women are the same biology. We know this. Men have thicker bands, which tend to keep fat from puckering up. Naturally, a big problem creates a big billion-dollar industry to tackle it. Anti-cellulite creams claim to cure the condition or improve the appearance of the skin, and British women alone, this is a very British episode, are spending around £30 million per year on these wonder products. But there's another problem. There's not really any such thing as a cellulite cure. At least, not in cream form. The only way of getting rid of cellulite is to get rid of the pockets of fat that are causing the issue, and the bad news is that we've yet to come up with a magic potion that gets rid of fat in your body just by rubbing it on the affected area. The genius who invents that is going to change the world and consign the beer belly to history. The day that is invented is the day I finally stop exercising. Assuming I can rub it on my heart as well. That's not to say that some anti-cellulite creams might not be able to disguise the effect on a temporary basis. If the product contains caffeine, like all the best products, that's usually a good indicator that it will smooth the appearance for a short period of time, maybe just long enough to enjoy that pool party with a little added confidence. But as boring as it may sound, the only real way of getting rid of cellulite, and the only way of getting rid of any fat in your body, is to adopt a healthier diet and eat more fruits and vegetables. Well, it's not the only way. You could also exercise, you could also have like liposuction, depending on how lazy you are. Probably best to calm down on that pink Himalayan salt too. I feel at this point we've mentioned the pink Himalayan salt. It's like, this video is brought to you by Pink Himalayan Salt. Get 10%. Speaking of healthier food, next time you get a bit peckish, you might be interested in taking a look at the naturally flavored strawberry fruit roll-up from General Mills. I have no idea what that is. Available in the USA, that is why. These brightly colored fruit snack sweets always looked like one of the less harmful options in the confectionery aisle. The packaging depicted a giant mouth-watering strawberry alongside the promise that the snack was made with real fruit. It's called a fruit roll-up. If there was no real fruit in there, I'd be like, guys, you can't. That's not right. But if we're being picky, we can make a couple of criticisms about these naturally flavored strawberry snacks made with real fruit. The way Danny's emphasizing this, I get there's something about this real fruit. They didn't contain any strawberries, or natural flavoring, or fruit. Oh, how can you say it does then? If you carry a magnifying glass when you do the shopping, you might have been able to make out the small print which revealed that the snacks were made from pears from concentrate, corn syrup, dried corn syrup, sugar, and partially hydrogenated cottonseed oil. I don't even know what cottonseed oil is. It's made from cotton? That's horrible. Also, hang on, pears from concentrate? Pears from concentrate, I'm pretty sure that's why that's like pears that are boiled down, right? So there is real fruit in there. I mean, we're really stretching the definition. That's how they get away with it, guys. In a positive strike against misleading labeling, a woman from California took General Mills to court and sued them. Although General Mills initially tried to get the case thrown out of court, the federal judge ruled that a consumer could reasonably make inaccurate assumptions about the content of the strawberry fruit roll-up. Didn't they say it had a giant strawberry on the front? Of course you'd misconstrue it. And there's no strawberry in there, it's pear. General Mills eventually reached a settlement in which they agreed to remove the picture of the giant strawberry from the front of the packaging. Curiously though, the settlement applies only to the strawberry flavor. The other flavors in the fruit roll-up range continue to depict images of fruit that is not included anywhere in the snacks. One more. Finally, here is a scammy topic that's very close to my heart, not my heart, Danny's heart, which just might bring me out in a rash. Oh no, hypoallergenic products. I don't have any allergies. I do have one allergy, and it's a weird one. You know, you get grasshoppers, and you can get the grasshoppers which you can eat. I ate these once when I was in Thailand. I ate these little grasshoppers, and I got a really itchy throat. I didn't feel so great, and then I was like, oh, that's weird. Like, I thought maybe the little bits of grasshopper were like scratching my throat. So a few years later, I'm in Mexico, and they have like the grasshoppers, and I'm like, oh, right, those grasshoppers are right. I'll eat some grasshoppers, sure. And then I get the same itchy throat thing. And my girlfriend was like, you got an itchy throat and you don't feel so good? She had allergies. She was like, you have an allergic reaction to little grasshoppers. And I'm like, oh. So that's the only thing that I'm aware of that I'm allergic to. Unfortunately, it doesn't really cause me any problems in my life. Although when we're in the future and we can't eat meat anymore, like everyone says, we're gonna have to eat bugs for protein, I'm gonna be like the first to die. Okay, so what are we talking about? Danny's friend Sophie is a hypoallergenic marketer's dream, as she appears to be allergic to pretty much everything in the world. Hairy dogs, feathers, flowers, dust mites, summer, winter, fresh air. Just stepping outside to face the world every morning is likely to send Sophie into a sneezing fit and cause massive skin irritation. Hypoallergenic marketing is another one of those billion-dollar industries which have sprung up to solve a widespread problem. All sounding good so far. The word hypoallergenic is slapped onto everything from cosmetics to lotions to creams to pillows to baby nappies, and it's meant to give you the idea that the product in question is far less likely to give you an allergic reaction. In fact, the official definition of the word that backs this up is relatively unlikely to give you an allergic reaction. Okay, so basically, when I see something that's hypoallergenic, not might pay a ton of attention to this, but if it's like a pillow, I'm gonna be like, well, yeah, I'm not gonna get sick from this. Or like a dog that's been like genetically engineered to be hypoallergenic. Does that happen? If not, it should. I assume that if I'm sensitive, then that's gonna be good for me. So far so good. Well, not really. There's definitely a big issue with that definition. Relatively unlikely. But what does this mean in marketing terms? The frankly alarming truth is the word means absolutely nothing. Way back in the 1970s, the US Food and Drug Administration, or FDA, attempted to regulate the use of the word by forcing cosmetic companies to go through strict testing procedures and essentially prove that a hypoallergenic product was far less likely to cause an allergic reaction than a similar non-hypoallergenic product. Okay, this seems better, like far less likely. If there's the regular one and the new one, I'd be like, I want the one that's way less likely, cool. However, when the cosmetic companies complained this would be too expensive to prove, how? I thought animal testing was a huge thing for you guys. The FDA quite inexplicably backed down. I'm gonna bet that their backing down might have had something to do with money and lobbying. The official FDA guidelines now read, unless the product makes a medical claim, the definition of hypoallergenic is entirely up to the company that makes the product. That would be like, yeah, of course, Kellogg's, you can define low sugar however you want. Yeah, you could say Frosties, they're low sugar, they're 99% sugar, but you get to define it yourself. You can say, you know, anything less than 100% sugar is low sugar. This doesn't seem like a good idea, FDA, does it? Also, you and your food pyramid. What a joke. Made a whole video about that on my Today I Found Out channel. The food pyramid is basically a lie. Link below. In other words, the term is completely meaningless, and it can just mean about anything the company wants it to mean. I could launch a new range of Danny's hypoallergenic Wild Eye Mascara tomorrow, packed full of the most allergy-flaring chemicals in the known universe, and nobody would bat an eyelid at my hypoallergenic claim. It seems utterly bizarre that this is allowed to happen. The reassuring news is that not every hypoallergenic product is a scam. For example, if a company sells a hypoallergenic pillow which isn't stuffed with feathers and contains materials which offer sturdy protection from dust mites, then it's probably going to be way less likely to trigger an allergic reaction than a standard pillow. But it's a good idea to thoroughly check out a hypoallergenic product before parting with your money, because everything's a lie. Is this true for Europe as well? I'm not going to look that up. That's way too much legal research right now. If anyone knows, use the comments below. While you're down there, hit that like button. A recent examination of 187 so-called hypoallergenic products revealed that 89% of them contained chemicals known to cause skin rashes, while 11% of them contained methylizothiazolinone. I don't know. This may be hard for Simon to pronounce. It is indeed, Danny. I asked you to challenge me in a previous video, so I can't really complain, can I? I have a feeling he'll chicken out. Challenge accepted. Let's see if the man in my computer knows how to pronounce this. The last word I looked up how to pronounce was Boniface. French, Boniface. Boniface. We wondered if it was Boniface. Methylisothiazolinone. Yeah, that. Methylisothiazolinone. It's even harder on the body than it is to pronounce. This is one of the most downright dangerous preservatives that anyone prone to allergies could possibly put on their skin. Stats like this is enough to bring anyone out in spots. Ba-da-bum-bum. It's bad enough when marketing claims are a little misleading or perhaps bend the truth to some degree, but when we're dealing with meaningless words, completely false claims, cures that don't even exist, and packaging that bears no realistic resemblance to anything that the product contains, it gets even harder to spot scammy products from the real deal. So my advice would just be to eat healthier. If you fancy something that tastes a bit like strawberry, try eating a strawberry. And for goodness sake, just buy white salt. It's these hipsters. This has been
Business Blaze.
I'm
Simon Whistler.
Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'll see you next time.
Methyl isothiazolinone.
Christ.